Are you interested in looking like Drusilla from Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Let me show you how. Okay, so I've been watching Buffy and I've never actually sat down and watched like the full season, all of the full seasons, like beginning to end. So I'm finally doing that and I'm having so much fun, and I'm just about done with season 2. I'm just like obsessed with Drusilla. She's so beautiful. She's like a hammer horror icon. Like, I'm feeling very inspired by her look. So I put on my little white nightgown and we're gonna do some makeup. She's wearing like a lot of cool tones, some shimmery grays, taupes, purples, which is like right up my alley. So I'm excited. Here's some of my reference pictures that I will be going off of. I just did like kind of my normal base. I figured I'd just do that ahead of time and just focus on the fun stuff. Like, are you kidding me? This like nude gray lip is everything to me. I took this e.l.f. camo liquid contour and put a little wash of it on my eyes as a little base for all the eye products to go on top of. And then next, I'm gonna take this Victoria Beckham pencil. It's one of the best pencils like ever in the world. This is in the color Ash and it's just like a really beautiful gray color. And so we're gonna start defining a little bit around the eyes. Okay, so Drusilla definitely has like a little bit of a smoky gray eye thing happening. There's definitely not like a wing or anything. So I'm just gonna take that pencil and I'm just gonna go right on my lash line and up just a little bit in the outer corner. And I'm just going to stamp it as close to the lash line as possible. And then going towards the end of my eye, just barely tapping it. I'm gonna come out just a little bit. Do you see? This pencil is like so good. Okay, next I'm gonna take a small little flat blendy brush and I'm just going to soften this and blur it out just a little bit. On the outer corner though, I'm going to feather it up just a bit to create a little bit of a crease there. Bringing it upwards just a bit. Now that I have that on both eyes, I'm going to take this Natasha Denona Glam palette, which is a really good cool tone eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to take the shade Transition, which is like a soft gray matte, on a fluffy brush. And I'm just going to kind of go over everything for the most part. I need to set the contour that I added, I need to set the liner that I put down, and just soften everything and make it really nice and gray and matte. Now I'm gonna take that same pencil and go underneath the eye. I'm not going to connect it in the outer corner. I'm going to kind of mimic this shape but leave a little bit of space here in the outer eye, just kind of for that 70s like hammer horror girl type of shape. I'm gonna take that blendy brush and just soften that line, pull it out just a bit on the outer corner. I'm going to take the shade Phantom from the Claire Psyche's box palette, this one right here, and I'm going to just set where I put the darker liner. So both on the bottom and the top, I'm going to use this gray to really lock it in place with this teeny weeny little brush. For a final little bit of matte smoke on the outer side, I'm gonna go back to the Natasha Denona palette and I'm gonna take this shade Lash Line, which is just like a really dark gray brown. Just gonna put a little bit on this little fluffy brush I was using earlier and really just work it into this outer corner. And then I'm gonna take a tiny bit and go on the bottom. Okay, so that's the shape of the eye. pretty much done. Okay, next, for this kind of purpley gray shine on her eyes, I'm going to take the Mothership, I think this is the Mothership 1. It's all these beautiful cool tones. And I'm going to take this silver gray shade first. And I'm just kind of gonna go all over the lid. Put a little with my finger. Ooh, that is so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna take that smaller flat brush now and put some on the bottom. And then to really bring the shine in, I'm gonna take one of these like soft blue glitter shades. I might take a little bit of this purpley one as well and just lightly press it all over the surface of the eye. It creates like this like really pretty like moonlit glow. It does look like she has highlight in her inner corner, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of that. I might take a little bit of this purple. It's so pretty. Gorge! Okay, now I'm gonna do a little tricky trick, and I'm gonna take that gray pencil from earlier, and I'm just going to redefine a little bit this outer corner, since we did sparkles and glitter and a little bit of like all of that, just to kind of ground it a little bit, bring us back to earth. Okay, now I want to define this outer corner little gap that we've created. Now that all the sparkles are kind of done, I want to bring a little bit of brightness back into the eye here. Okay, to redefine this little line, I'm gonna take just like a matte concealer. I'm taking this Anastasia Beverly Hills one, but you could, literally any matte concealer will work. I'm just gonna put the tiniest bit on the back of my hand. I have this little paintbrush. I'm gonna take a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to go over right where that line is. But it adds a little something interesting to this shape, since it is a lot of just like smokiness and glitter. Just a little something that creates a little definition, a little bit of structure. And it's very 70s vibe. Okay, now that that is all done, I'm going to curl my lashes, add some mascara. I might do a thin, spiky little falsie if I'm feeling crazy. Let's see. On the bottom lashes, I'm really only putting mascara right where the shadow is, so I'm not going to bring it all the way to the inner corner or all the way out to the outer corner. I'm just going to sit it right in here, just to kind of emphasize this shape we've created. I put on a lash. It wasn't the little spiky one that I wanted, but I couldn't find any of those. So I'm going to do one more thing to the eyes, I think. I don't know that it's going to make very big of a difference, but I did just get this Maybelline Tattoo Studio gel pencil in the shade Stardust Chrome. And it's like a, oh, that looks nice, chromy blue white shade. So I'm going to give that a whirl in my waterline. First, I'm going to kind of clean off my waterline with a Q-tip. I don't know how visible that is on camera, but in person, I just have like a little blue sparkle in my waterline and it's really pretty. Okay, now for the lip, this is the picture I'm using as direct reference for the lip. I'm gonna clean the lip balm off of my lip, that way it's a little bit of a matte, dry. And then I'm gonna take my foundation brush and just, with what's left, like for lip liner, I'm going to start with Mob M159, one of my favorite cool tone greysy brown shades. She also has a pretty structured lip shape. It's not very soft. Like, she has a stronger Cupid's bow, so I'm going to mimic that. I'm gonna take my finger and soften it on the inner part of my lip a little. And then I'm gonna go in again. Okay, now I'm gonna take a little bit of the MAC shade Folio. I'm gonna go around. I'm using the point to kind of blur out the lip liner and put the color all the way up to the liner. I do feel like I want it to be a little bit lighter, so I'm going to take that Anastasia concealer again. Just a little bit, just a little bit on the back of my hand. And I'm just gonna lighten up the middle of the lip. I might take the liner one more time. Now, for the final touch, her little frosty gloss. Okay, to do this frosty gloss, I'm gonna make a little concoction. I got sent this Kimchi Beauty gloss in the shade Aurora, and it's this really crazy gray purple color. Perfect. But it's really, really pigmented. Like, it's a little bit too metallic-y gray for what I want, so I'm going to dilute it with some Pat McGrath clear gloss. A little flat brush, mix those babies up, and then I'm just gonna press it on the lip. Okay, and that is it. That is the Drusilla makeup completed. I'm really happy with it. It's honestly really similar to makeup I would wear regularly, which is why when I saw her in the show, I was like, yeah, I need to do that. I need that on my face right now. Perfect glam for traipsing around your house in a white nightgown and plotting evil schemes, obviously.